up, guys? Andy here with Soblue Productions. Glad to be back. We got the Downtown Throwdown in Jasper, Alabama. It's the 4th edition of this event. As always, here with Taylor Holly.
So glad to be back, guys, as usual.
And the one and only Jared Neal.
Hashtag biscuit butter.
Biscuit butter, yes sir. We got the feature card, Darren Simpson out of Birmingham, Alabama. Jared Neal, yourself, out of Madison. Jeb, the Mountain Goat Watson, Huntsville also. Jeremy Vaughan and Joey Lutz rounding us out from New Albany and Tennessee. So Taylor, start us off with hole 2 here.
Yep, hole 2, 159 feet. By the way, guys, we're on an urban course here, as you can see, so going to be looking through some parking lots and alleyways. This one's pretty straightforward. Start these guys off 159 feet dead straight. Obviously, you just don't want to get stuck behind the trash can or possibly the tree. So Darren with a pretty straightforward shot. Jared, what you looking like here?
So I'm really just trying to throw kind of like a air bounce, kind of nose up shot, and just kind of turned it over a little bit. So a little to the right of where I wanted to be, but honestly, like not that far away.
Right, sure. 159 feet. It'd be kind of tough to be too far away, so. Jeb giving it a run here. Oh, wow.
Be a way to start the tournament.
Yeah, no kidding.
Very mountain goat appearance.
Don't
know where that came from.
I love that. I'll have to ask Jeb about that later.
That was on the registration, so.
Yeah, so that started years ago, and a lot of it was just goofing around. Jeb just acting like a mountain goat running up and down hills, so it just kind of stuck. I know we called him that back in collegiate, and that was a while ago.
Nice. And Joey rounding us out here. Oh, gonna hang out over there with Jared a little on the right side of this hole. Oh, you did find an alleyway though, Jared. Oh, wow.
Yeah, so the chains on these baskets, these are the dynamic disc recruits. They're not super heavy chains, but they do have a little bit of chain movement, so just put it a little outside and just kind of pushed it out.
Ooh, real errant putt there from Joey as well. Appreciate the knowledge on those baskets, Jared. That was great.
Yeah, Joey's was very uncharacteristic for Joey.
For sure. So Darren with a nice drop in 2 there. Jared, you're going to round out your 3. Jeb going to tap in for the 2 as well. You're going to see a bombardment of disc in the basket here.
MVP on that hole was definitely probably that tree. It blocked 2 really good ace runs.
Defensive player of the year or the round.
Oh yeah.
So there you got it, guys. Darren, Jeb, Jeremy Vaughan, all birdies. Jared and Joey taking the par and moving on to hole 3.
That's right. So here's hole 3. This one's going to be just 180 feet. You're throwing down, a little downhill into this parking lot, just over the little median there. And really you just want to kind of nestle this short of that road that's back there. You can see those guys. And that's a good shot. It's just a little short, so should have a good look at the basket.
Yeah, biggest problem here is just not going long. You got the OB long. Obviously you want to clear that little median, like you said, Andy, just to leave yourself a better putt, but really not a difficult shot.
Yeah, it kind of forms like a little bit of a green berm, like right behind the hole, but as soon as you go over that, it slopes down pretty hard.
Absolutely.
And if you just clear it in the air, you're almost guaranteed to be out of bounds. So on Jeremy's shot here, he's coming just a little long, and he cleared right over that berm. And you know, you could maybe get lucky and bounce off the construction equipment, but not really.
Crane's just hanging out. Jared, you look to be taking pretty good aim here. That's great shot.
There it is. I was waiting for it. I knocked Jeb's disc a couple of feet closer.
And Joey with the smooth forehand touch. Very nicely done. Nestling in there.
Yep.
Quite well. Navigating the
We'll have to
median.
see if anyone can follow suit later on another card.
There you go.
So this is Jeremy from his meter in from OB.
So he did go OB?
Yeah, he did go OB on this.
Gotcha. Well, good 3 save.
Yeah, great 3 save.
For sure, absolutely. Definitely don't want to be taking 4s out here. Most everything for you viewers at home is pretty attackable. Very few holes over 300, so 4s here are kind of detrimental to scoring well. Oh, wow. Couple of shaky putts from these guys early. Obviously, everybody just kind of getting warmed up and getting the feel of things. So.
And one of the big differences you'll see with urban golf versus regular golf, like my footing there was a little weird, but I kind of had to get my foot in between the disc and the curb.
Right.
So you got some really irregular footing positions, and with all the concrete and everything, you really have to like check up on the disc because
Sure.
it basically turns the green extremely fast.
Great point. Yeah, a lot of these guys will throw in, 30, 40 feet short to slide into a basket. So they're going to tap out for the par there.
There you go, hole 3. Mostly 2s again, a couple 3s. Nothing crazy. You definitely want to get your 2s, especially early off in the round like this. But here we got hole 4, 264 feet. And most players are probably going to throw a forehand here, just play it off the road towards this building, the corner of that building there. You got OB long and left, but what's something you gotta kind of look for here?
I mean, you got plenty of roadway out here. I saw a couple of errant shots go early right into this building, which is just terrible because you can't get out of this little gap over here to the right. That's a great shot of using all of the features of the hole there. But if you just slide the road, use the curve on the right to kind of check up by the basket, no matter if it's backhand or forehand, it's kind of what you're looking for here. So
I said most players would throw a forehand, but so far I'm dead wrong.
But that's Jared.
And that's ideal.
Exactly what I was talking about there, Jared. Well played.
Yeah, so I'm definitely trying to use the road on this. Like I said earlier, a lot of the greens are really fast, so put it down early, let it slide and like come to a stop.
Yeah, the
And
curve is a nice buffer for you.
Yeah, and here's your forehand play right
Yeah,
here.
there we
Joey's
go.
known for a forehand.
Thanks, Joey.
Oh, very nice.
Looks like Jeremy's going with the backhand as well.
I definitely played the forehand. Ended up pushing a little long past this basket on my line, but yeah, Jeremy taking dead aim here. Great shot. Very nice. Using the grass to check it up there. Well played.
No scratches there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and definitely typically this would be a hole that would be all forehand. But I think one advantage of either shot, forehand or backhand, is it's such a short hole. So you don't have to worry about too much placement.
Oh, sweet.
Hey.
Sweet.
So I found one of the TD's longboards.
Nice.
Just had a little fun.
Awesome. There you go.
Good putt
Nice
there.
putt, Joey. Be Jeremy next to play here for his birdie as well. Oh, no. High left.
That seems to be a typical miss for spin putters.
Yeah.
Just a little early release maybe.
And Darren with a nice little tap-in bird for himself. Oh, bag on.
Felt pretty good about that one.
Yeah. And Jeb with the CTP here. Great shot using the wall. I would imagine, folks, you'll see some shots like that a few times a day. Definitely using all aspects of the hole. So great job of these guys. There you go, everybody except Jeremy with the bird. Jeb keeping that one-stroke lead on the card currently. So moving on to hole 5. A 258-foot par 3. OB runs the entire left side of this hole. You see a little pocket cubby hole there in the school building that's OB. Really don't have to worry about the OB long, but the biggest thing is just challenge this OB line. Make sure you don't hit a light pole and come crashing into this basket. And that's another great shot from Jeb.
Yeah, and he's off to a killer start here.
Absolutely. So, let's see if...
So you can kind of see a little bit, that yellow line down on the street is actually the OB line. And it gets a little squirrely, but it more or less follows that sidewalk.
That makes it a little easier if you hit that curb coming back in. So it's actually inbounds instead of having to re-tee. If you took that line.
Real wide there. Oh no, what a rollaway. Come on back.
This is actually a little bit more fortunate because from the tee, we thought he was like way out in the parking lot. And he actually came back to the building like a pretty decent ways.
And another one using the wall there.
Yeah.
So, great shot for Darren. And Jeremy bringing up the rear here. Clear the pole. Oh no.
So we all thought Jeremy had the perfect ace line, and he happened to just hit that U-channel pole.
Did he stay in bounds, Jared?
It actually kept him out of bounds
Wow.
by no more than 2 inches.
Just a fraction.
So another putt for par here. Oh wow. That's tough. Oh wow, and a big roll away.
Good run there to try to
For
save
sure.
it.
Everybody for Darren. Darren's starting to heat up here.
So you'll notice here too, on top of the roof was actually out of bounds. So they're actually allowed to take meter relief off of the wall.
Great note. And you should see that a few times probably throughout this round. Pretty much every building, maybe except for I know one, there's a basket kind of in a building, but everywhere else, top of the building's ROB, like Jared mentioned. So you can take that relief. You might see a lot of guys do that throughout the round. So
Yes.
big putt for Jeremy here. Definitely don't want to take worse than a bogey. Had another high left spit out.
And like Andy pointed out earlier, for spin putting, the sweet spot's kind of more at the right side of the chains for the left side.
Good deuce there.
Yep. And Jeb keeping that hot start. 4 down through 4 holes.
There you go, hole 5.
Sorry, 3 down through 3 holes. I'm a goofball.
Bunch of 2s. Unfortunate 5. It is what it is though. Just gotta move on.
Sure.
Takes us to hole 6. 300 feet, basically. You're going just about uphill the whole way. If you can throw a nice hyzer to just spike in towards the basket, it's probably the best play here. Or if you're dead aim thrower, you can take straight aim at it. Jeb's definitely going that hyzer though.
Oof.
Just a little long, but I think that's a good play. Probably a good miss.
For sure.
Or not even a miss, really, just backstop.
Yeah, kind of the only really squirrely thing I figured out on this hole after playing it was you got a staircase that goes up the left side just past the basket. Right where Jared's headed, actually. I'm going to be short of that staircase. But if you were to hit that staircase crazy, the concrete and roll, you could catch a crazy roll away. But pretty straightforward hole besides that. The rare backhand from Joey Lutz. Solid shot.
Mm-hmm. I believe this is one of the pin locations that you're putting on grass.
Yeah.
Or was this one on sidewalk?
I think technically it is on the side, but I mean it's an in play. It's a real small sidewalk. We'll see if Jeremy can calm some nerves here after a couple of unfortunate OBs and really put one on the basket here. Looks to be a pretty good line. Stable out.
So if you'll notice, Jeremy's disc actually never came down.
Oh,
Right.
man.
So it got stuck in that tree up there.
Luckily, we here in Alabama don't play 2 meter rule, so. Stymied just on the front of that basket.
Good looking putt though. Yeah.
And Jared, that's probably one you'd want back, huh?
Oh, definitely. I felt like my drive came out of my hand a little early, so I left it plenty short.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Joey just a little off right
Yeah.
now.
Just not quite dialing it in yet. Solid putt from Darren.
Yeah.
Always nice having a little 20-foot downhill putt. Probably one of my favorite putts to make.
So that's actually where Jeb's ended
Yeah,
up.
it'd have been a great shot.
That little tree line actually worked for a pretty good backstop and just kind of kicked him out probably to like 5 feet to the pin.
It's definitely some awkward footing. Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has some extremely awkward footing. Like, if you notice, his leg is raised up.
Yeah.
He probably had at least 3 foot difference between where both his feet were.
And the disc is still in the tree. But there you got it. A couple birdies there, some pars. Pretty straightforward hole. So moving
No
on.
discs were harmed in the
Right,
footing.
yeah, absolutely. Hole 7, 319 feet, par 3. The only OB here is on the backside or in this playground area that you can't see in the tree line. Kind of a difficult hole. You got to work this disc a lot left to right. You need kind of a lot of glide if you can get around the tree. Jeb going really high. That's going to be well right of the basket and short. So definitely hard hole to attack.
This one they actually changed up a little bit from last year. They had it really far pushed up into the back right corner. So they kind of moved it towards probably more central positioning in the parking lot. I think it made for a more attackable hole. You didn't have to kind of swing it above those trees as much as you had to last year.
That looks to be on a good line, Jared. Oh yeah, wow.
That's
Good
right
gracious.
down at the
It hit
pole.
like right at the basket and then took a 40-foot kick to the right. And this looks to be on a really good line too from Joey. Oh, just a little deep there?
You'll actually see in a minute. Joey is absolutely parked.
Okay, right.
He played it a little short, so when he had the skip, he was just directly under it.
Yeah, I had by far and away the luckiest shot of my round. I threw it up, hit the fence where the playground is, rolled down the fence line, trickled back off the hill, and landed underneath the basket.
Oh, wow.
That's the play.
Yeah. There's the fence there, folks. You can see behind it. So just played it down off that hillside. It was great. So Jeb got a big jump putt. This is pretty uphill. Tough to see on the camera a little bit, but
Smart
definitely
play there.
Oh, sure, because I saw a few rollaways on this basket. Obviously, being on concrete, real easy for the disc to kick up and roll all the way down the parking lot. You see these guys, like you were talking about earlier, Jared. I mean, definitely using the fastness of the green, the quickness of the green to slide a disc up underneath the basket.
Yeah, definitely a safe play.
Is that Joey in the?
That's Joey in the bottom of the basket circle. Yeah.
Nice. Ooh. Mm.
That one actually felt really good coming out of my hand, but it just was just a little too high.
You have
And
any win there?
Well, I actually realized after the putt that I was actually slightly higher than where the basket was.
Oh, wow.
So if I was on a level plane, I made it all day.
Sure.
But I didn't compensate for it, so I hit the ban.
Nice. Good putt from Jeremy there.
Yeah,
That
big
was a
putt there.
great
Big.
putt.
Yeah,
That's a great deuce putt, too.
for sure. Not everybody can be fortunate enough to be inside the metal circle of the basket like Joey. So
Now, how much putting in an urban course like this, knowing that there's concrete around the basket, how much is that in your head, or do you just have to rid that in your mind?
I think for me personally, at this point in my game, I'm just trying to commit to a lot of putts. So I'm not really thinking about the disc hitting the concrete. I'm more or less trying to visualize like throwing the disc in the basket. But it does come into play on a few like longer putts.
sure.
Especially if it's like within like long jump putt range that I would normally like jump putt to lay up.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense.
Great birds from Joey and Jeremy there.
For sure. Here we got hole 8, 160 feet. Possibly the shortest hole on the course.
I believe so.
Yep. Really simple throw, just got to stay inside the parking lot.
Yeah, it's pretty tough to mess this throw up. It's just kind of an ace run.
Yeah.
Even if you're long here, I mean, you've got 35 or 40 feet past the basket before the OB. Really just avoid some crazy errant shot. I mean, that's, Jeremy's long there, but he's completely fine. And don't get caught up in an early bush. You're going to see most guys take the forehand just to avoid going into the bush. So
Mountain goat with a forehand.
Oh,
Nice
interesting.
little no skip.
Yeah, that was interesting. Maybe it's a putter or something there.
I was honestly surprised to see this many forehands.
Forehand seemed to be the safer play on the hole.
Well,
I am the only one who doesn't throw the forehand, and my mentality going to it is I'm actually throwing a pure ace run.
Right.
If you hyzer just over the top of that bush, you're running at the basket.
And you did. I mean, you just
Yeah.
went a little long.
one is comforting with that curve back there. I'm sure y'all knew that. I mean, if you missed the basket a little long, just like you and Darren both, I think just had that cushion back there to know that
Great putt.
that's a great putt from
Right.
Darren. Very nice.
Right, just like you're saying, it's not going to slide into the street.
Correct. You don't have to worry about it going OB there at all. So, Jared, I gotta say, I'm a big fan of the disc. There you go. That right there, the little disc flip. Is that just something, just habit, put you in your comfort zone kind of thing?
Yeah, it's just I don't know, just like a little fiddle that I do
Gotcha.
before I sometimes even throw drives or do my putts. Just something that's, like you said, just kind of become a habit.
Sure. Oh man. And a couple of just slightly off putts there.
Like we were talking about earlier, I'm a spin putter too, so I hit left side chains and just spit.
Right.
So I hit weak side for me.
Jeb trying to continue this really hot start he's had.
Yeah, playing really well.
He is.
Little tap of the basket just to show some respect.
Joey did nestle up just in the edge of this bush here, but it's going to be unaffected. No harm, no foul. and a pair of par putts to finish. So there you go for hole 8. Again, Darren, Jeb, Joey, great birdies. Unfortunately, Jared and Jeremy just not quite getting the putts enough to go down. So moving on to hole 9, Andy.
Yep, so we got another left to right style hole. You got the OB deep at the basket, but it's a good 40, 50 feet probably.
Yeah, definitely outside the circle.
Yeah, so you kind of just want to do what he's doing here, land short, play the skip shot.
Ooh, gonna get some roll action there, I think. And that's a good camera angle for them to see when they're watching the video how severe downhill this hole is. That was the only thing to watch out for, is just kind of letting the disc get away from you downhill. So
Yeah, we actually couldn't see Joey's disc finish, so they actually had to walk up the sidewalk just a little bit to kind of get over the top of that hill to see that it actually did lay down eventually.
gotcha, nice. I think common thing I saw for a lot of guys here, and haven't seen it on y'all's card yet, but that, yeah, kind of like get that early finish. I think a lot of these guys are worried about pushing it down that hill and going maybe long. So a lot of 30, 40 footers short, you know, that I saw all day.
Yeah, this hole actually played deceptively longer than it looks from the tee.
Mm-hmm. And that is a result of exactly what you're saying there.
Exactly.
Which is interesting, being downhill.
Right.
We actually all took forehands on this hole.
Mm-hmm.
That's a great shot, Jared.
Thank you.
Way to commit to a line there.
So back from the tee, his really looked like maybe 30 feet. You know, walking up to it, it's like 60, 70.
Right. And going back to something you said on hole 2 or hole 3, I don't quite remember, but just kind of some awkward footing. I mean, Darren, you see here, you got some rocks and some steps and some kind of funky things, so it really kind of made you get really settled in on some of these putts where normally you could just step up and fire away. But whew, Darren holding his balance nonetheless.
Another solid putt.
Great putt.
Especially putting downhill too. He was trying not to tip forward. So that's where Joey's actually ended up
Right.
laying down, which ended up being like pin high.
There you go. Great 2 for you guys. Whew. Just barely getting that under the chassis belt. And I had to admit, man, one of my favorite things from the whole day was just the casual drive-bys, man. Just the
Yeah.
the constant traffic around. People just, you know, stopping to see what was going on. And
Definitely
checking it
a
out.
different vibe.
Sure. And it was great because a lot of the locals, you know, kind of knew sort of what was going on, was asking, you know, was the tournament still going on, or how people were playing, or so. Really cool to kind of just see the city get involved around this tournament.
Yeah, so definitely two things. The OB line is actually that road behind Jeb, so he has plenty of room.
Yeah.
Right.
But also, what you're talking about, all the cars driving by, this was one of the few fairways they actually did not have shut down.
Right.
So we had to wait a decent little bit for a couple cars to like drive all the way up the fairway.
All right, got hole 10, 272 feet. This one playing from one parking lot to the other. Basically, you got that one pole in the middle that you gotta just navigate around, and just like Joey just did there, just play a little wide of it, or just straight shot. Good ace run, but not much trouble here, as long as you stay clean.
Yeah, not a lot of trouble, but it was definitely a hole that, you know, at this point in the round, kind of gave people a little more fits than I thought, because I think you're working the disc left to right, and the parking lot is slanted left to right, so it's really hard.
That's a good point.
To hold this disc right on top of the basket like you would want. So you saw Jeb there, I thought had a great line, and still was a great shot, but what looked like he was going to be under the basket and still finished about 12 or 15 right. So, and then you got Darren that just stops and doesn't slide. So
You see how much of an angle it is because the chains are
Sure.
slanted in the
Right.
basket.
that's another thing that we hadn't talked about yet, and you'll continue to notice, is that a lot of what we're
Yeah, keep in mind there's only
Yeah.
one thing to miss.
You'll notice throughout this, oh my goodness, great, throughout the tournament, that a lot of the baskets are going to be not level or not sitting on level ground because they're sitting on uneven parking lot. So another factor of going into putting, you're putting on a slanted basket a lot of times. So yeah, way to find the one thing out there, Jared.
I like Jeb's play. He played a little bit more overstable disc, kind of on the flex line.
Mm-hmm.
I just simply thought, hey, I'm going to do the exact same thing, just avoid the pole. But yeah, I found the pole.
And boy, I tell you, Darren coming on strong here the last 4 or 5 holes.
Yes, he is.
Really starting to pick it up. Another great 2.
I'm telling you, a course like this, you get your putter going, and there's some hot scores out there.
And this is exactly what I meant. I mean, when Jeff threw that disc, I swore he was going to be parked, and it could just continue to slide and slide. Great putt, though. Solid. And he seems to be pretty locked in at this point during the round.
Good comeback.
Nope. Great putt from Joey. Seems like Joey's gotten comfortable and settled in as well.
Right, that was the other thing I was going to mention. At this point, Joey's also picking up a lot of birds.
Yes, he is.
There you go, Jeremy, good putt. So there you go. Jared Neal messing up the star frame.
Showing you guys the grip on these shoes. It's pretty good.
Yeah. Moving on to hole 11, 277 feet. You're throwing from up on a ledge, downhill, in between some buildings. Obviously, rooftop is OB. You've got a dumpster bin to navigate. To me, this was probably one of my favorite shots all day. Really cool just to, oh wow, nice. Really cool just to kind of put a disc up in the air, let it just, work and glide down to this basket. So
It never fails. Someone always hits the dumpster.
Yeah.
So it just happened to be Joey this
off
year.
the line.
And yes, Jeb's disc just skated along the power line over there.
Cool.
See, Jeb hit the dumpster last year, so he had to do something different.
What is that, a 50-50? Is that what that's called?
Yes.
And shout out to Robert Thompson for volunteering and kind of stopping traffic here so we could kind of play without avoiding any injury or anything. So appreciate the time spent on this hole. We kind of sat there all day helping direct traffic.
That's a good looking line there. Might have landed close.
Just
Got a lot of
tucked in right
shoulder.
behind that tree, I believe. And Jared coming in a little early left. That was definitely some wind on this hole. If I remember, we had some headwind to play with, so it's all a lot of those guys thinking the disc might flip up a little more than it did. Ooh. And kind of the first errant putt we've seen from Jeb there. Again, you see the wind kind of tickling around, so see if Darren can keep it going. What are we looking at here? A 35-ish footer maybe from this point, Jared? Is that about where we're at?
Yeah, probably just outside the circle. And if you get on this left side, there's definitely all this like shrubbery and these trees and everything to deal with. And you'll see it here in just a minute. Darren only has just a little bit to contend with.
Oh. Ooh. And again, I think that's just some of that headwind coming in. Just got out high, open face, and oh wow. Jeez.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. There's actually, if I'm not mistaken, I think I had like a holly bush or something right in my knee.
Great effort though. Great putt, and you definitely saw Joey take a little more time with that one. Got it locked in, and he's definitely on fire at this point.
Yeah, after seeing two guys go sky over the basket, probably smart to make sure you focus up on it.
Here's a little bit more of that foliage navigation that Jeremy's showing us.
There it is.
Good putt.
Great putt.
It was a little more firm out of his hand than some of his last ones.
A little lower too, right in the heart of it.
Oh wow. And Darren with that comeback tailwind putt and just not quite able to connect there. So Jeb going to be looking to avoid the same fate. Very nice.
Yeah.
These guys in the back actually just started like a lawnmower right before a couple of guys were putting, and it was just very loud and very obnoxious. Then they cut it off right before the last couple of putts. Oh, and here is the patent pending slingshot putt.
The slow-mo slingshot.
Interesting.
100%, right?
Oh, 100% all the time. I toyed around with it a few years ago, forgot about it, and then just all of a sudden just thought, hey, Andy might like that.
There you go. We got hole 12, 225 feet. Another par 3, as they all are here. This one playing just a hyzer, probably over the corner of the building on the right. Or a forehand turnover shot.
If you're Joey Lutz. Yep.
If you ever play with Joey Lutz, you expect to see that shot like multiple times during a round. His forehand turnover shot is just unreal.
Good shot there from Jeremy.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was envisioning.
Yeah, mainly the common play there. The biggest, the only thing to avoid on that backhand line is just those power lines, making sure you get over them. That's going to come in a little early and short. But luckily the bailout area there is safe. So only problem here is being longer on a roof than Jared going sky bomb.
I just didn't want the power lines to come into play.
They didn't.
Unfortunately, I stalled it out a little too much and didn't get as much left pull as I was hoping for.
Yeah. Not the easiest player to follow on a disc. But that's not a bad thing. It was very exciting.
And it looks like Darren's did kind of the same, which he got a little more right to left, but kind of got up in the air. And
Also, this parking lot had a lot of like micro gravel, so you didn't actually get a lot of the skips that you normally would see.
yeah, not what we've been used to earlier in the round with the asphalt. So
That's for sure.
yeah, I kind of had the same issue during this round as well. Thought I played a great disc with a gator and expected it to move, right to left on the ground a good 15 feet, and it kind of just stuck where it was. So
Right.
great putt from Jeb there.
Yeah, he is all over these 20-footers, and that's...
Outside of that one little air bounce putt, he's been dead on. I expect Joey to follow it with the same here.
Yep. Another 2 for Joey.
Yeah, he's rolling.
Darren can put that 4 behind him. Very nice. Definitely want to come back out here. Really can't afford to get in a mental rut of any kind. So, great par putt there from Jared.
Don't worry,
You've had
guys.
some great comeback putts so far, man.
I'm all over the comeback putts.
Coming back like Birkenstocks in 2018.
Yes, sir.
All right, there you go. Update on the leaderboard, Joey and Jeb tied at 9 down. Darren hanging back at 7. And then we got Jared and Jeremy mingling in there at 4 and 3. So moving on to hole 13, what I felt like probably played as maybe the toughest hole in the course. Only 203 feet, however. Power lines to navigate. You got a basket that's in a building, working very hard right to left on a 90-degree turn. Easy play here is probably to go long past the building, and then you got kind of to throw it over this wall like you'll see Joey have to do here from that position. Obviously, you can try to play safe, leave yourself in the gap way. The only issue with really trying to get aggressive and get inside the building is if you do leave it short, you might go on the rooftop, and then you're OB.
So this is actually my favorite hole on this course. There was 2 courses at this tournament, and on this particular side, this is my all-time favorite. It's got that, roofless building that we're throwing into, and like Taylor said, a lot of people actually throw it too long, and if you throw it too long, you'll actually land in the street.
Or if you hit that pole.
And that is
You land on the
really
roof.
unfortunate for Jeb there. Going to take all his mountain goat skills to climb up there and get that.
And this throw here, I feel like a lot of y'all thought those were some good shots, is what it seemed like from my angle, and they were just
It's
each
a
one
little
of them
bit
was
too
a
far.
little long. Yeah. So you made a correction and went even higher.
Oh my goodness! Wow, great shot, Jared.
So yeah, that
Wow.
soft justice doesn't fly forward very much, so it has a lot of stall. Jeb's shot, due to verticality, is still inbounds.
Technically in bounds.
Yes.
Right. Wow. Very fortunate that it slid back off that roof just enough to be in
You
bounds.
see me right here taking a photo of it. and it's still rolling.
Oh no, it's coming backwards.
The concrete roll.
Forwards, backwards, forwards, backwards, forwards.
And back again.
Jeb and I
there
were
we go.
around. Yeah, Jeb and I were around the corner, and we heard him say it was still rolling, and we're like, "Wait, it's still rolling?"
Oh. And yeah, this is completely blind looks from these guys. Nothing you can do here but kind of lay it up over the wall. Obviously, make sure you get over the wall, and hopefully you take your 3.
So that's actually a tester from Jeb, because if he goes for that, he could slide out that opening. If he goes out the opening, the road is like 5 feet from that opening.
It's a great point. Oh wow, Jeremy with another low putt there. You always staying locked in, solid 3, and
Not every day you can walk through a window.
I said, why not?
And you're, as you were speaking of earlier, you're gonna get some relief here,
Right.
because the rooftop is OB, so should give you plenty of room to get this putt off. Very nice.
Great too.
Yeah, only one I heard of or saw all day. There might have been a couple others, but
Yeah, I definitely didn't hear of many or any
Yep.
twos at all on this hole besides the one I just got.
great shot.
And there you go. Jared, yourself. Little biscuit butter. Only 2s. Couple 4s. You never like to see that, but it happens. As you said, one of the harder holes. Texas here. Got mid 200-foot shot here. Lots of OB. Mainly to the left, you got this fence.
Simple hyzer shot. As
You
long as you
mean-
don't go in the fence.
You mean that fence?
That
That
fence.
fence right there. Skirts the entire backside of that.
So Jared, so far
Building.
you have found the only pole, and you've found the only fence.
I'm all over it.
You've also got the only 2 on hole 13.
This is not an instructional video. Did you realize that?
Do's and don'ts of Downtown Throwdown by Jared Neal.
Exactly.
You have shown us how to make a good comeback putt.
I'm all over the comeback putts.
Oh,
Good little shot there.
Yeah.
This green is very choppy with those
yeah, there's
cement.
a lot of rocks, a lot
yeah.
of blocks. It's a smooth old concrete slab surface, so you're gonna see some ginormous skips possibly like that. So
Yeah, there's a lot of debris around the outside, and then there's almost just like a clear circle area right where the basket's sitting in the middle of it. So if you come in right under the basket, you're going to get a huge skip. Unless you throw jab.
unfortunately,
That
hit a
was
hole
very
there,
soft.
I think. I don't know.
That's pretty neat.
Yeah. And this is exactly where I put it from. I did the same thing, went a little long, took a huge skip deep. Jammer with a smooth putt. That
Very
was
smooth.
Very nice. Speaking of butter.
So how about the comeback putt?
There it is.
Nice.
I saved a 3 on that. I did take an OB stroke, but that's where I crossed the fence and just luckily just made the putt. I'm trying to get out of the way so I can go get that disc.
Run, Forrest, run.
Woo. Putt there.
Yeah.
Yeah, fortunately there's a gate at the end of that fence line that kind of interconnects everything. So
I'm honestly surprised we don't see your head just like right above that fence line. Oh, there you are.
just on the other side there was actually probably a 2-foot drop down to the bottom. So if I was on the other side, you wouldn't be able to see
I
me.
gotcha.
And there's.
Very nice. Jeb just continuing to make those 15, 20 footers. So there you go. Moving right along. Unfortunately, Jared just taking that OB3, but only threw 2 shots. So there it is. Hole 15, 236 feet. Pretty straightforward here. Similar to a hole earlier in the round. Just got these kind of multi-level parking lot to navigate with a little median in between, but not really trying to do anything fancy here. Even if you slide it up to the curb just by the basket, you're only 6 feet from the basket. So Joey just going a little left there. I think we're back to that direction where we all had a little bit of headwind. Darren choosing to go big hyzer bomb and kind of getting that skip that you don't really want here away from the basket.
So last year, this hole was actually a little bit further back. So if you skid all the way up to that curb, you still had probably about a 30-footer. So Darren on his shot was actually thinking it was in that little bit further position.
Gotcha.
Like a lot of us actually thought. But after seeing some of these throws, I'm actually going to be throwing last. I feel like I was able to play off of everyone else's throw and just try to go a little bit lower so I don't go as far.
Definitely lower.
Yep. And
Playing the
just
slide.
Playing the slide. Yep. Name of the game.
That was definitely the name of the game today, for sure.
Oh, wow, what a putt.
So back to where Jeb is
Very
standing,
nice.
kind of like at the front of those parking spots is where it was last year.
Gotcha. Very nice.
Back-to-back solid putts there for Jeremy. Trying to get back in the groove.
Sure.
Not with the groove.
In the groove.
In the groove. I imagine most of these players have a groove in the bag. Definitely not a disc that's in most people's bags. But if it works well for you, then you might as well take advantage of it, you know?
Well, playing on the concrete and the asphalt, I know I personally wasn't using my normal bag because if anything happened to the disc, then I'm not using my normal tournament bag.
Hey, just to key everybody in there, you got the star frame that time.
I definitely did.
My man.
Got the star
With
frame.
the CTP.
Use
With
that
the
curve,
CTP.
man. Use the curve.
You did. Well played. Name of the game.
That's right. Takes us to hole 16, 283 feet. One of the bomb holes here on this course. You're going to throw over this line of shrubberies, foliage,
And the dumpster you'll see in a minute.
and you will see the dumpster come into play.
And Joey just ripping a stable mid-range there.
Note, there was actually a headwind on this hole. So it was actually stalling some of these higher shots out. Typically, we weren't thinking it was going to be too much because, I mean, it's a short hole. It's sub 300.
Right.
There was the dumpster.
Yes.
That was the dumpster.
Right off the top.
Right off the top.
Jeb electing to go forehand here as well. And coming up right on that dumpster. I actually was right in front of y'all and saw that shot hit up underneath the dumpster. And for a second, I thought I was going to slide underneath it, but. And Jared electing to go big hyzer here. Jared, what'd you throw there?
So that's my soft justice again. I
Okay,
thought I had
gotcha.
it absolutely perfect, but then I remembered soft justices actually don't forward progress very well.
Gotcha. Interesting little.
Is that what you threw on the 90? That's what you threw on the 90-degree shot, right?
That's correct.
Yeah. So that's a good example.
So Darren's disc was actually in the top of that holly bush, shrubbery,
Right.
whatever you want to call it. So he actually was playing verticality underneath it.
Gotcha.
I was in the tiny little open space between them, but still had to take a knee because it was just really awkward.
Yeah, and there's Jeb, kind of got one foot almost stuck underneath the dumpster, other one out for a straddle. Oh, wow. Just let that kind of stall out
Yeah.
on him. So Joe going to be trying to look to pick up the lone deuce here. Wow.
He knows it. He had a chance there.
He did.
I feel like for this group, this hole was played very atypically. Like, especially the hyzer shots and the forehand shots. Any other tournament, you give us a 283-foot hole, whatever, we're going to all pin it.
Sure. Well, that hard to see what was going on with the wind, but I do remember we came through right before y'all, and I was dealing with a lot of it. I think I forehanded a destroyer, and it still actually flipped up and went left for a little while. I had finished 25 left to the pin, and I thought that disc would easily carry me back towards the pin or to the right. So, again, you're talking about disc stalling out on y'all's backhand hyzer shots. That headwind had a huge effect there. So, there you go. You got a bunch of threes, and Darren, unfortunately, with the four. Again, not what you want out here, but luckily, you know, you can afford to have maybe one here or there and get away with it. So, moving on to hole 17, 225 feet. Looking to throw right down this alleyway here. There is a little bit of a curve. You'll see the basket's on this like plateau slab where a building used to be. Around the tree to the left is not really an option. You can't attack there, so everybody should be down this right side. I think the biggest thing I took away from this hole is that basket actually is shorter than it appeared when you were playing it. It was really easy to go 25, 30 past down the alleyway. OB not really a factor because you can hang out to the right and be fine, and it was way down the alleyway there where the OB is, but that looked to be a great shot there from Jeremy.
Jeb's just going in early, yeah.
Tree's gonna.
And he's got an interesting little pull. It's kind of like over the top, near his shoulders, and then through his chest. It's different. Definitely works for him, though.
Yeah, so Jeb actually torques over the disc quite a bit. Yep, found another pole, by the way. And by putting that top torque, he's able to throw a lot more overstable disc, a lot straighter. So Jeb was actually throwing a gator there.
Oh, wow.
Which is a typical throw for Jeb, and it works really well. He throw a lot more straighter lines with the gator, and that bit hook late. So Darren's, we actually had a little bit of a fear that there was going to be an OB line back there.
Right.
Because there was an indication somewhere of a possible OB line. However, you'll see in a minute, there were no painted OB lines. Correct. It was actually like the street, really, really far, all the way back.
It's actually the one back there past where the cones are. Yeah.
So he is perfectly safe, just awkward footing.
Sit. Oh. Speaking of awkward footing. Oh, wow, just splashing out on the right side.
Good look, for sure.
For sure. I don't want to call a spoiler alert here, Jared, but I mean, that's going to be a comeback putt for you, and I know what comeback putts for you have looked like so far this round. So Joey going to have the only opportunity to have a 2 here again.
We thought Joey's was definitely like pin high, and we were kind of surprised when we saw his was short.
Oh, no way.
Oh, my goodness.
Wow.
So that's the one disadvantage of playing on all portable baskets.
Right.
Is portable baskets typically have lighter chains. So
that was perfect.
There's the comeback for you.
Yeah.
Joey's disc actually progressed too hard into the chains, hit the pole, and then reversed back out.
There's Darren with the par save. So avoiding tragedy of being on the wall there. Jeremy gonna have to navigate the same wall. Gonna be just fine, and Joey gonna unfortunately have to tap in for a par. What he was definitely thinking was a birdie. So
I'll call his a robbery.
Yeah.
Good putt.
Solid save there.
That miss from Joey would have actually been 9 birdies of the last 10 holes.
Wow.
So he's definitely been on a tear here towards the
move to 11 down. So Jeb just still chasing him by 1. And moving into hole 18 here. Pretty fun hole. It's 249 feet. Pretty dead straight. You do have this huge kind of dump bin on the left to avoid. There were not near as many cars when we played. You'll see I think there's one at the very back. For most part, parking lot's cleaned out. Just kind of a fun. Joey gonna really take an interesting line. So most people just kind of go straight at it, but that's real fun.
Oh yeah, this was a great change from last year. Those little black signs you can see right in front. Last year they had the basket right in front of those, and just past that little wall was out of bounds. So now they've kind of stretched it out and more or less eliminated the OB. So you feel a little safer when throwing your shot. So I was actually calling for his shot to hit that car the whole time. And it just kind of dropped right in front of it.
Yeah, and I will have to say, man, those the little curb pieces there were pretty tricky to navigate. I saw plenty of shots that people thought were really good shots. And Jared, that was 100 past the basket.
I was calling for the car on that one too.
Great shots that were coming to the basket and caught these little curb pieces and either kicked backwards
determined.
or rolled away. But
Oh,
mean,
I
that's
was
a
going
great-
to ace it or hit the back wall.
Right. Hey, that's the great thing about the wall, man. It's a nice little backboard back there. So the worst you can do is go 40 past. And that's how you do it. You get the relief and you take the birdie. So why
Great
not?
putt.
Great knowledge of the hole, by the way, for you to just, like you said, be thinking you could make the ace run, but knowing you had the wall behind you to leave you nothing more than a 35-footer. So.
Right, so you actually see where it's positioned. It's almost halfway in between the curves and the back wall.
Right.
So running the back wall.
I'm not sure what we just saw there, but I'm just going to leave that for the viewer's interpretation.
I hit a good putt. I'm allowed to do the putter dance.
Such concentration there by Mountain Goat.
Hey, absolutely. Look, he knows too. Just get Jared Neal away from me. Oh, wow. And Darren's not going to be happy with that. If that was 2 inches lower,
Yep.
I think that stays in, but.
Yeah, so if you saw what Joey was just doing, Joey put his mini down and it like popped up and rolled like a few inches away. So he was actually correcting where the mini was actually supposed to
Gotcha.
go. It was really odd. I don't really know what happened, but it just moved on its own.
Nice hole there from Jeremy. Darren going to tap out here.
Yep, there you go, hole 18.
Yeah, Jeb tying it up there.
Yeah, so got a good one going. For the most part, everybody's pretty close. Jeremy hanging back a little bit. Moving on to the last hole, finishing on hole 1, 196-foot shot. You got some sneaky OB here. The OB line on this little picture maybe looks a little further back than it really is.
Pretty close to that basket back there.
Yeah, that map's not right.
Yeah. So you actually have some on the left side, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. Down the whole left side.
That's textbook though there.
Absolutely.
Jeremy.
Kind of from the edge of this building wall here, all the way down to where you see that dumpster just on the edge. Everything to the right is safe, but then that OB line, like you spoke of, is probably, I don't know, maybe 10 feet, 12 feet behind that basket. It's not very far.
Yeah, I'd probably give it a good 15 feet. I'm throwing kind of another air bounce stall shot here, thinking, oh, this is fine. You know, the OB line is back there, and you'll see in a minute. It's probably a good 15 feet right behind the basket.
Right. Joey going with a smooth little putter forehand there, and you know, after watching your slide real far, I don't think he knew you were out of bounds at that point, but still, it was just playing short and playing safe, and very uncharacteristic of Darren there. Usually really solid with backhand kind of putter shots, and just really got on top of that, threw it right in the ground.
Yeah, I think it just caught on his hand just a little bit and kind of pulled it downward.
Little
Little
sighting
cameo of myself out there hanging out. Yeah, I had to poke my head back in and see what these guys were doing.
What a slide there.
So, Jeb's putt actually slid out of bounds. That's how close it is.
Yeah, that's nuts.
And Joey solid two there,
Well, he landed.
capping off a good round.
Yeah, he did. That was a very nice putt to
And
finish.
as you can see, I think y'all are finally realizing for the first time that y'all
How
are
close
OB.
it actually is,
Right,
yeah.
it's crazy.
So Jeb is taking a meter relief here. And he's still, you know, at the diagonal, he's probably
Right.
16 feet. I'm basically in the same spot. Except for I'm putting to save my 3.
For a 3. Yeah, nice comeback. That could have been your, I mean, I do like the hashtag butter biscuits, but it could have been hashtag comeback putt.
Should have been hashtag comeback putt.
Would have been the theme of your round, but. So a little tap in from Darren to finish things out for these guys. I'm going to see Joey with the hot round from this card. I think he shot a 12 down, sure did. Jeb unfortunately taking the bogey to go back to 10. And then you got a real close grouping, Darren at 8, Jared at 7, and Jeremy at 6 down. So,
Yep.
fun round for sure.
Yeah, real good round. I think you shot the hot round, 41.
I did.
Overall,
I had 13
so-
down. It was a nice first round for me.
Yeah, good round there. As always, we appreciate you guys for watching. There you can see the final results of this card. Mountain Goat on his tail, but overall, pretty tight race. Look out for the next video, the final round of the Downtown Throwdown. And as always, Taylor, appreciate it. And Jared, thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.